Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Gene Joke here, and today I'm adding Karate Champ to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. I believe Karate Champ was the very first 1v1 fighting game. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I read somewhere, so it must be true because I read it on the internet. The Evercade website to be precise. It probably says it in the Evercade manual as well, I can't recall. The thing is, it's not a fighting game as we generally think of them these days. There are no health bars, it's merely points, because it's a karate competition where you score points by getting a clean blow on your opponent. Yep, I couldn't work out where I was going to say enemy or opponent then and did something in the middle. Go me. So really the setup is very much like the competitions in the Karate Kid. So the question is, does this NES port of the arcade original allow you to fully relive your Karate Kid fantasies that you had back in the 80s? Well, let's start with the graphics, shall we, which yeah, it kind of looks a bit rough. I don't think it's a particularly good looking game even in the arcade, but this NES port does look significantly worse. There's really very little in the way of visual appeal in any aspect, but it does do the job, I suppose. There's not much in the way of music, but the sound effects are adequate. On the gameplay front, for today's standards, it's pretty poor. The controls aren't particularly intuitive and you have to learn them before you can get anywhere with this game. Combine that with getting used to the idiosyncrasies of the early design, and it's not a very accessible early game. But should you take the time to learn it, there is some fun to be had with it. It can be quite satisfying when you finally start rinsing through your opponents, take them down with jump kicks and sweeps and things. But let's be honest, most people will probably be put off by the initial awkwardness of the controls and the lack of visual appeal. I mean, that's certainly how I felt about this game at first, and it's only when it came up on the KD's challenge on the Evercade Discord, for competition's sake, I had to take the time, talk to others in the competition and get to grips with the game properly, that I did start having some fun with it. But I'm sure not everyone's going to. Of course, it could be a very different story if it's a game you have nostalgia for. I myself don't, I'd never played it until getting an Evercade. So all in all, I'd say it's an okay game for the time, or it's probably quite a good game for its time. Nowadays, it hasn't really aged that well and isn't one that I see many people going to, or at least without having some sort of nostalgia or entering a competition, or essentially having some external reason beyond the game itself to really put some time into it. But naturally there's no denying that it was an influential game at the time. But anyway, to place it on my ever-growing ranking where you know the drill. To place it on my ranking list, it's going to go above Speedball for the Master System, but below Zool. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.